I totally understand this doesn't work for you now. I get it. And then there's to somebody else who was my client already. Like I threw in a little extra service because they're already my client, but I didn't charge them for that thing. So I don't know. Maybe like you saying maybe a payment plan.
Okay,
Give a little bit more value.
It very much depends on what is your core income, and what you do is what I call, you know, there's a Yiddish word for it, which I can't remember right now. You know, like the stuff you put aside, like, you know, little extra projects that you do, you know. So when you have a little board, you have a little extra,
right,
the money or this money or that money.
Right.
Your core income, it's very hard to do that. You have expenses, you have things that you have to pay. Nothing's gone down. Okay.
Right.
But there are certain clients that you have that you can work with. I know I just got a call last week from a client, very long term, work with the family. It's not a one person situation, and they literally have no money. They have no income coming in right now because things are shut down. And I put it on hold. I said, you know what? Because I take care of people, so it's very hard for me to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm never going to talk to your kid again until you have money. And really, our ethics, both as a teacher and as a therapist, really, they don't allow for that. We cannot discontinue services.
Right. Your job, your oath is to
it's our oath of what we are. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna put billing aside for right now. You know, I'm gonna keep track. We've always had an amazing relationship. I know that they genuinely don't have it, so I'm not going to. And it's not my core. It's not my core. The way I have a paycheck, so I can do that. And then when things get better, hopefully they get better. And you should know something, because I work both in the therapy section and also work in the business section. What do you think the first question I asked is? Did you apply for the payment?
Right.
But they hadn't had it at the right bank. I immediately called the husband. I immediately tried to help him out. So there are ways sometimes. Sometimes you can help. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes
I've also done that. Right. Give them information.
Lower your rate, but I sometimes think you have to put things on hold. I mean, people are doing that for us, and I can tell you, this is not the first recession depression I've lived through. This is number 2. This is number 3.
2008.
2008 is like, you know, Jack Daniels of recession depressions. But I also had lived one before that, which was the Gulf War. So I'm on 3 recessions. I am not any.
Where was I during the Gulf War? Oh, I was in high school. Where were you?
No, so you were, but I had started a business right before.
Oh, no, I was in high school.
Okay.
I didn't notice.
I'm sorry, right before 9/11. So I remember how there was no work, literally, from 9/11 until after like November.
Right.
So I've gone down this road before, you know, and I will tell you that the more you can do to help others, and the more that you can, it's not lowering your rate. It's putting
so that's
the rate on hold.
Or doing something different and creative with it.
It's different and creative. Your value's higher than your rate. We are so undervalued. I mean, I have to say that compared to lawyers. Is my brother Nussi on here? I don't know. But they are overpaid. So we're always undervalued.
They're bored out of their minds, those lawyers. I spoke to one on Friday, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you called." I'm like, I'm happy this is working for you. What else is?
Lawyers are listening. They should lower their rates.
Right.
Okay, but I get one thing. Yeah. We had a situation with
but not my lawyer. He's wonderful.
Yeah, we had a situation with a contractor who was gonna lose a client, and to save it, was open to lowering her rate. Okay, and I know specifically that my mother was very hesitant to go there, because once you go there, you really can't go back.
That's correct. But this wasn't COVID.
Right? And this was before COVID. This had nothing to do with that.
Right.
The thing is, when you lower your rate, it is almost impossible to get back to that rate. So that's why I say, rather than lower your rate, put it on pause. Tell them you're giving them 3 free sessions, things like that. Because when you take that rate down, it doesn't make a difference that in a year from now, we'll be all doing great. That rate will never be able to be raised.
Right.
Okay. Very slowly.
So I like what Connie said again. Also, packaging is key. It is. And also, I think it was Naomi, give extra. Listen, I read these articles. People are giving millions of dollars in for respirators and for masks. Okay, I can't do that. Maybe you can't. But there are things we can do.
That's
and
correct.
I definitely think knowledge is key. I was talking to someone Friday also, and she was like, I was telling her about the PPP, and it was having a difficulty, and I said, switch it. And those little things, those perils, make people just keep being able to move on. Next question. This is actually cute. This was, I think we discussed it, but we can come up with some maybe new things. What is something I can do daily to make myself in a positive place? That's Nakama's favorite question. I'm going to let Nakama take that.
Well,
She called me and she goes, okay, so this is what I did because I knew I needed to make myself in like a positive place, which I know that I didn't. I must have missed that other phone call when she wasn't in a positive place.
exactly.